Hey guys, Ponylover1989 here and welcome to another reaction episode. Okay, this is the last suggested reaction video that is suggested by Something Different 765. This video is made by DeeJayOkay and it involves another Paper Mario video game called Paper Mario Origami King. It's one of the 6 installments of the Paper Mario series. Even though I haven't played the game yet, but will you please redeem yourself and be reborn like me? Sorry, that was a quote from the game. Anyway, DeeJayOkay made a review about Paper Mario the Origami King. And this is called Paper Mario Origami King is not worth your time. you jump on it. Here we go in 3, 2, 1, and it's supposed to be in 2 parts, actually.
Where the do I begin with you? Hi, I'm Matt.
Some people call me DeeJayOkay. Some people call me Uncle Jim. Some people
Hi, Uncle Jim.
Hi, Mom. Hi, Dad. This video project started from a place of ire. After buying Paper Mario Origami King and beating the game
for the Nintendo Switch.
So annoyed and frustrated.
Oh,
There was a specific moment where I was playing the game the last 2 hours and just finished it in pure
puke.
Back to the game going, am I for feeling this?
Am I a
Is
thwomp?
the game good and I'm just the old man?
I'm a grumpy old man.
I replayed
Homer.
the games, I got to thinking, and
I got to thinking.
Together in a somewhat coherent video. Look, let's be honest.
Don't judge me, I'm being honest.
1, you're a friend of mine, and you're being
SpongeBob and Patrick.
2, you want to see what kind of
Heart.
hot takes I have on
Fire. Hot takes.
You want a
Critical breakdown.
Paper Mario series just doesn't live up to the hype it produced. Now I hope I deliver number 1, but it'll probably be number 2. And like all number 2s, it'll stink. But maybe
Poop emoji.
or found something you didn't know previously, and that'll be good enough.
Good enough.
Transparent, I've never done one of these review analysis things.
Nostalgia critic.
Something I said, or
Anger from Inside Out. What? Willy Wonka?
Let me tell you why.
That was I saw Sheldon from Big Bang Theory.
What's a Paper Mario, and why should you care?
That's 8-bit Mario, not Paper Mario.
Get out these books real quick.
History Channel.
It all started out in 1996
with this weirdo
Super Mario RPG, developed by some unknown Japanese company called Squaresoft.
The creator of Final Fantasy.
Suspenders wearing Italian plumber, but in the
Third dimension.
And the stompies and the... But no, wait. What's the camera weird? What's the scene transition? What are the menus?
Battle scene.
What is that? Is that a
That's Mallow. That's Gino.
Well, like you might expect, Super Mario RPG
Croco.
is a spin-off game developed by a different company. So the devs took some liberties with Mr. Stompakuma, changed the game to an isometric platformer, and a turn-based JRPG. And people
JRPG.
loved Mario. It was goofy and fun and weirdly serious at times. But most importantly, it was a solid yet simple RPG that had the warm, fuzzy Nintendo blanket on it. That's romantic. I think
An
part of the
NES
reason
controller
success was related to
blanket.
how it treated its own characters. The game itself was more than just a splash of toad paint on a boring RPG. We got to see soul on characters we didn't give a second thought to before. Like now, enemy types are given real personality. I mean, Bowser's a tsundere, the Sniffets and Chain Chomps feel like they do stuff that's not just kill Mario. I mean, some of them even have names and character development.
Character development.
Super Mario
That's
RPG
safe for
is one of the
Mario.
coolest game mechanics in JRPG history. The time to hit, where you don't just select, attack, and wait like other games. You have to participate in fights, meaning you're gonna get your shit handed to you if you don't.
Oh, Thwomp.
This ain't a cutscene.
This ain't a cutscene. Press A.
You
Press
need
A.
buttons after selecting attacks and defends with good timing based on all these weirdos attack patterns to do more damage and
That almost looks like Donkey Kong.
done in JRPGs before this game. Revolutionary stuff.
Viva la
Took
revolution.
a lot of pressure of big numbers out of the picture by capping most statistics to 2- and 3-digit numbers. Even in late game, your max health is under 1,000 points, making it much more friendly for people to pick up and enjoy, like kids and dumb people.
Like kids
This game is
and
a
dumb
stunning
people.
project of genius by directors Chihiro Fujioka and Yoshihiko Maekawa, with special shoutouts to composer Yoko Shimomura, who did the
Yoko
sound effects.
Shimomura.
Yoko Shimomura, please step on me
Oh, she composed music to Mario Luigi Superstar Saga, Legends of Mana, Kingdom Hearts.
Well, what does Nintendo do after such a hit game was made by their partner company? Why make another one and take their ideas, clearly? Intelligent Systems, the guys behind Fire Emblem and WarioWare.
Fire Emblem and WarioWare.
On the spiritual success
Game Disney?
First Paper Mario game for the N64, released in 2000. And it hits a lot of the same beats as its predecessor. Mario's interacting with a world of weirdos. We're seeing cool and interesting places in the Mushroom Kingdom and beyond. We got our turn-based combat back with the return of timed hits. Hell yeah! Also, side note,
timed hits. This game doesn't have any original. Now we get introduced to partner system.
Those characters that hang around with you, well, you only get one of those at a time.
Well, bye.
A detractor when you look backwards on the mean, lean three-person team, but in its context, the partner system really gives agency to Paper Mario, both in-universe and in combat. Previously, when things happened in Mario RPG, every character with you would stand around going, "Hey, I know that thing you said," and have an opinion about it. How about you, party member we don't talk to?
Opinion.
Which felt more like time-wasting skits than any
My
real
time wasted.
Now, to be fair, little
Now, to
skits
be
and dialogue
fair,
exchanges are a great way to flesh out your
that
character.
Tales of Symphonia.
Games have taught us. But if that's your only substance, you don't really
The
have
Tales of
characters.
series.
You have stage actors. And that's not the
I
same.
haven't.
Personally,
I like
I'm
to
of the
play
opinion
these
that it
series
has characters
sometime
on screen,
soon.
They need to contribute something, even if it's for reinforcing another character's point. And with the Mario RPG, they just kind of didn't. I'm looking at you, not Peach. On the flip side with Paper Mario, anytime plot happens, you see the one partner character you've chosen to hang out with, you go, "Oh, well, that's neat. What you gonna do now?" and move on. Sure, you have access to multiple partner characters, and they're never but a button's press away from saying something, but you, the player, have agency on who spoke and who's gonna laugh with Dawn Nintendo when you've committed.
Dawn Nintendo.
Now, I mentioned how partners
Scuba side.
kinda a lie. See, the way the game's designed, main man Mario can handle just about everything, with very few exception enemies and situations. But with the addition of partners, combat gets more interesting. See, some characters can scan enemies. Some do status effects you can't do without using an item, but only one partner at a time, which is what makes these fights
Only one
interesting.
partner at a
Shaking
time.
up what Super Mario RPG did before, giving you agency in your choices, your combat decisions, who you, the player, choose to take with you. Even if the decision is choose this partner or you die, it was still your choice. You see this emphasis on partners here in its sequel, Paper Mario: The Thousand-Year Door.
For the GameCube and the Switch remaster.
Look, I'm not gonna waste a lot of time here. This game is great. It shares a bunch of features from the last game. That's why people like this game a lot, self-included. I've already gone too long.
Especially the Nintendo Switch remaster.
We're moving on. But you'll notice that in all the games I just talked about, I don't talk about the plot of those games at all.
Story
And that's
time.
because Paper Mario games just aren't big on meaningful story. Sure, there's interesting characters, there's set pieces, there's threads that go off the main path, but there's nothing you hadn't seen here before. It's always the go find the magic thing and save the world.
The Star Spirits.
That's not to say the plots of these games
the first
are
game.
bad, they're just standard. You're not about to question your free will or reflect on humanity's place in the universe. You go wahoo! You save the
What RPG game was that?
That's basically the Paper Mario premise. A simplified JRPG with clever
It's
writing,
simple,
intricate
smart.
combat design with those timed hits, and characters that feel alive.
I'm alive!
Showing off all that history will hopefully give you a better picture on why people love these games, self-included. This series took JRPGs and made them different and fun and easy to pick up.
JRPGs are really cool.
Well, then the innovation happened.
Innovation happened. Super Paper Mario, Paper Sticker Star, Color Splash.
After Thousand-Year Door, I can only assume that Nintendo got really pissed off at Intelligent Systems for putting in as much dark and steamy humor as they did.
The Princess Peach taking a shower at the Zordas.
Neat and tidy, which might explain why we see back-to-back-to-back gameplay and visual changes across the next 3 games. Super Paper Mario decided to go back to the 2D side-scrolling thing.
2D side-scrolling thing.
Elements and this 3D flip-flopping affair.
Flip-flop
So instead
affair.
of experience, you turn your score into levels that gave you more health to survive the 2D, 3D real-time fights. It kinda worked. The game was fun, but only because they fell back on a previous trope, the whole side-scrolling thing. And
Oh,
the character
8-bit
writing was
Mario.
still top-notch. It wasn't what we came to expect, but it worked in its own right. But it
That's one of the Count's minions, Ochunk.
Or giving them timed hits, giving them camaraderie with weirdo partners. I missed that. Though in its defense, Super Paper Mario did borrow from Thousand-Year Door and let you play as Bowser, Peach, and Luigi in specific instances. So the game gave you a taste of what it was like to play with other characters, but it wasn't the partner system at all. Like I said, it worked.
Nope.
It just wasn't what we were expecting. It shined in its own right, but it left a hole, an itch for what we once had. Well, Sticker Star tried to go back to its turn-based combat roots from the first 2 games, but did so in a really off-the-wall way. The game really honed in on on the paper aspect of things. Rear attacks and moves weren't tied to stats or character progression, but now it's collectible stickers in the world. And
Collectible stickers!
Clipped because it's paper. Get it? It's Paper Mario. Do you get it? Buddy,
8-bit on Mario on paper.
You gave me stickers? Stickers and a roulette wheel? And no measurable way to track my progress outside of the existential dread of looking at hours played? Dude, that and all the fun characters you come to know and love aren't there in any meaningful manner. Yeah, there's Peach, and oh no, she's over there as an ornament. That's nice. The tour's moving on now. Well, maybe I want to see what Peach is doing, huh? You ever think of that? And Color Splash for the Wii U.
Color Splash for the Wii U.
Wii U at that point? No? Alright. Color Splash shared the same problem as Sticker Star, where now it's not stickers, but it's cards that you color in for fights. I mean, there's spectacle in that.
Cards.
Creative writing, but that's not the only reason why you play these games. It's the world building and these named characters with depth and the fights themselves and the spectacle. And you've just kind of f***ed it up and said, look at the shiny. You like the shiny? I mean,
You like the shiny?
Shining in, but this approach on how this series handles entertainment might be why I and other people have such an issue with Paper Mario games after Thousand Year Door. The game expects me to throw hours of my time into their honestly proprietary combat system to get to their
Proprietary.
but there's
I thought you said papaya.
difficulty in the fights getting there. It's literally a grind, and even then, the
cheese
reward
grind.
for trudging through all that isn't worth the effort. All it really does is give you a shower coins and a good job you did it, and not much else. That and both Sticker Star and Color Splash, they stripped off the majority of named characters hard. Like, it feels like Nintendo was afraid of making another Wikipedia page on these side characters.
A Wikipedia page?
Oh, come on, get out of here!
Oh,
At this
what?
point,
Vivian?
there was a hard lockdown by Daddy Nintendo.
Rule
saying,
34,
"This game needs to sell
Vivian?
10 billion copies. It has to be accessible to everyone forever. No complicated mechanics, no new character, just Mario and..." So they did. You can see how games after Thousand Year Door, they still have their merit in humor and visual appeal. They just don't feel the same as the early titles. They don't feel like Paper Mario because they only focused on the first word, paper. And that leaves the next games feeling just that, paper thin.
They paper thin.
Well, when Nintendo released their trailer for Origami King, they gave people like me hope that things were changing. Like, look, there's neat looking visuals. And that weird square thing kind of looks like Bowser. And Junior's gonna team up with you? And timed hits are back? And is that
The timed hits are back.
Yeah. But what we got didn't live up to that hope. In fact, I'd say Origami King can't even be called a Paper Mario. More like a Draper Mario.
Draper Mario.
But before we get into the hypercritique,
Here's a couple
I'm
of
not
reviews
about
for
to
real
rip into
customers.
This game without telling you what it did.
Rambo?
Because
Is that Master Chief?
All this history of the series, setting your expectations up to fail. Origami King on its own merits, still isn't good. Is not great. Is weird in its design to its detriment. But that doesn't mean the whole game's garbage. Let's look at what Origami King does correctly. One of the nicest things I could say about Origami King is that it nails the whimsy aspect in presentation. This game does a lot of labor in its visual and sound design to make the game vibrant, even in some of the darker parts. Granted, it leans heavily on the "hey, we're paper, this universe is paper, look at the colored paper" trope like in Color Splash and Sticker Star. But for a while it works. You're swept away in the colors and the designs of the enemy's origami. You're obsessed with filling in the holes for the confetti. You're excited to see
Oh,
what the new
confetti.
brings because, whoa, that's awesome. Look at the graphics. Look,
Graphics.
the series for focusing only on the spectacle, but the spectacle itself is a good time. There's a temple scene that has a Michael Jackson Thriller tribute. There's a stage
Thriller.
production of the origami enemies that's surprisingly
Stage
cute.
production.
You get to see an idol concert with Olivia.
Olivia.
Oh, I'm gonna come back to you. But there's just a lot of silly packed in this game. I mean, for f***'s sake, there's a doo-wop tree song. Look at that. That's just
A doo-wop
fun.
tree?
Origami King knows how to lay into its set pieces. It knows how to put on a show. And the show is wacky and zany. And yes, Origami King has some world writing too. There's the little coffee shops where you can hang out with the bad
Coffee
guys.
shop.
They're just real jovial. There's these three amigos who want to have a fantastic party. There's even fax travel to go back
Fax
to
travel.
It's cute. They can't save the game, but it's cute. And there's a handful of mini games that aren't just push the button with
Oh,
timing.
mini
That's
games.
nice, I guess. Again, it can't save the game, but it's nice. Okay, I've been holding this back way too long. Is it time? I think it's time. This is what Origami King does wrong. Real talk? It's a lot. Right off the bat, more than half of this game, the combat portion, is repetitive and frustrating because nothing really changes with the combat mechanics. You have all the available moves of slide and rotate, hammer and jump from the very beginning of the game, and nothing, literally nothing, changes in that aspect. The entire game, you will consistently, constantly do rotate, slide, oh boy, you did it. Choose your
Oh
attack,
boy, you
attack,
did it.
win, fight. That's it. There's nothing else. Your combat complexion comes in the form of, ooh, different ways to slide people around. Is that fun? I don't think that's fun. That's the equivalent of saying, hey, Timmy, I know you like video games.
Timmy,
so here's a
I know
Rubik's
this video.
Cube. And
Here's a
here's what
Rubik's
you
Cube.
press every time you solve it. And every time you solve it,
Uh,
I'll give you
okay.
a quarter. and you look down.
I do like quarters.
Rubik's Cube that sometimes turns into a regular Rubik's Cube. I should state it's neat to play with initially. There is some challenge into how do I align these guys so I can smack them efficiently, but that's overdone after the first hour of game.